This is Abnormal Entertainment.
This drink says all natural, and it's like carbonated water, cane sugar, citric acid. I feel like some of these things are not quite natural.
It's bad
Is
for
carbonated
you.
water natural? You just walk around and you're like, seltzer
Boom.
water.
You can make
Carbonation.
it
Comes from the earth.
There is.
That's why they call it
natural
mineral water.
Well, yeah,
But
there
it's
is
just,
mineral
like,
water.
already like that? It's already carbonated?
Yeah.
Where do you get this at?
Hot springs.
Because she pays a lot of money to drink this crap. I don't know where I can just go get it for free and just scoop it
Yeah,
up.
it's 88 cents a 2 liter. It's
There
really
you go.
expensive.
That's not what she drinks. She drinks Perrier.
It's good. They come in all sorts of flavors now, too.
Oh,
This water's so good I have to drink it flavored.
Strawberry.
Yeah, just like my medicine. It's so good I just have it cherry flavored.
it's very
Yum.
bitter.
That's what you do with horrible, ugly,
Oh, I
gross
love
things.
Perrier. It's so good.
This coffee's so good, I'm going to put a bunch of cream and sugar in it. I love coffee. No, you like cream and sugar.
That's true.
That's why I try to dress up you all the time.
Because you don't love me? I'm very...
Because you taste horrible.
Oh, no, I eat
Pineapple juice.
Hey, get out of here. You are invited.
Welcome to GloryHoundd and the Uninvited Gamers. I'm your host, GloryHoundd, and our uninvited gamers with us today are
Just Colleen.
Richard.
still
Oh, I guess
GloryHoundd.
you- yeah, you already
I
do.
was the host. Yeah.
I mean, everyone's...
But wait, where's GloryHoundd?
Yeah,
right here.
I'm
here.
I'll point
Ding,
to her.
ding, ding.
Hey,
Just
everyone on the
I'm
interwebs,
right here.
I'm pointing to it right now.
Yeah. hmm
And Dr. GloryHoundd, which is why everybody tunes in.
Right. Yeah. It makes our show so much more professional.
It does.
Shockingly, the numbers go up when you're not here, but we don't.
That
Actually,
one
that's-
time?
yeah, I don't know what the numbers are.
I'm like, you actually don't have the number.
Oh.
Actually...
So the Renaissance
Oh,
Festival
now I
is
see
in
why
town.
you do this. That's great.
The Renaissance Festival is in town.
It is.
Has everybody been to the Renaissance Festival before?
Huzzah!
We have been once.
We took you, right?
I kind of refuse
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
right. We took you to the
What?
first one, and your son hugged...
Hold on.
Oh, my God. I was telling a touching story about their
Richard
kids.
refuses to go.
In Arizona, because I think it's weird to go to a Renaissance Festival in the desert, because I think
Oh,
you have to
my
make
Did
it
you
look-
know that there
you
was
can't
no
make it-
Renaissance in America at all? So unless you're going to go to merry old England, yeah,
But
chap.
I think of the medieval Europe as being a deciduous zone. So there's trees and
Are
grass.
you
and
tree
Because
racist?
everything
I
at
saw
the
a tree.
Renaissance Festival is so accurate except the climate, right?
Oh well, that's true.
That
but-
chocolate vendor does
isn't
not
there
seem
like
accurate.
a mermaid thing this year or
Yeah.
something?
There is
too?
mermaids.
Well, and they do like time
Yeah.
traveler
there
day, so you like a
reverse
Doctor
mermaids?
Who's there, and there's like
Yeah.
ninjas and samurai.
Yeah,
The Pirate
it's-
Day.
it's-
At a certain point in time, it's almost just costume dress
Pirates
party,
weren't in the
except for people
Renaissance.
that work there, and then they're actually like hardcore.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean, where else? I mean, they can like. There's a guy who actually has his daughter like put a cigarette in her mouth, and he like whoosh, whips the crap out of it. And I think
We
how many
did see
times did
that.
he miss?
I know.
When he first started, a
I'm
lot.
sure
of
he
that.
practiced a lot before he.
Yeah,
tried
but
on
practicing
humans.
means you lose a lot. You got to mess it up at least
He's
once.
very good. He's very
You don't
good.
Whipped
just
his
start with
daughter's
the
lips
mouth.
off.
You whip
Oh,
other
I
things
started
first.
with the mouth.
I heard he refuses to teach BDSM like stuff. So
What?
That's like a real random thing that she knows, right? So
Well,
it's actually
I Prophet was leading there.
no.
Let me tell you guys about the Renaissance Festival. Hold on. So
No, so
I heard.
he doesn't do it because
Go ahead.
we heard it through a friend of a friend of a
Yes.
friend. Actually, no, we
No,
heard it
just
through
a
really
friend
good
of a friend. That was it.
No, just
Okay.
a friend. That's
Okay.
really into
Former
BDSM.
roommate.
Yes.
Former roommate on a Tuesday. No, a good friend of ours is actually into that culture, and so he mentioned that guy will not participate in any of those things because they have just like there's game cons, there's also BDSM cons.
Yeah.
Sometimes after the game cons.
Yeah. After
Dragon
the
Con
Game Cons.
has a very large
Yeah.
BDSM
Yeah. And I-
contingent.
yeah, I think that's
And
the
I
one.
heard if you're whipping,
Yeah.
you need to know how to whip very professionally.
good.
Yeah, exactly. They made a whole
Well,
song about it.
I would imagine you'd want to have the person who's doing it like know what they're doing, so they'll actually like catch you in the eye, like
Yeah, like
My
Just Colleen is the
eye!
worst
oh,
slapper.
she is. You're like slap my face. She's like, how about I slap your eye and
hesitate.
part of your nose?
You know what? It's because I hesitate because I don't want to hurt you guys.
No, I appreciate the sentiment, but somehow you make it worse by
so
doing
much
that.
worse.
you
You know what?
So much
You just need to turn the
Or
ring,
so
just
much
turn
better.
the stone on the ring around.
Yeah.
And just
I-
really
I don't
give it to
actually
him.
use this hand usually, so
Oh,
her,
that's
her
yeah,
bitch
that's-
slapping
solo
hands. Her right.
I don't even know what to say.
I also
Keep
heard
your
that
pimp hand strong.
Twig the fairy cusses like a sailor.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
That's the one that likes the little socks or something?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she doesn't talk during the whole thing, but then afterwards.
Then
I'm
afterwards,
sure,
apparently, she's like,
I did the same
She's
thing when
like,
I worked at
"Bitches."
home. Like once I got off the phone from working at home, and then like my kid was asleep, I'd be like, "What the fuck is this vagina shit?" That's gonna be a lot of editing. Sorry.
I'm not editing this.
Pineapple? I don't know.
I'm not editing these
Pineapple,
words.
passion fruit, maguave, avocado.
And we have a show title.
That's so much better. So much
What's a
better.
maguave?
That's a
I
long,
want to
that's
try
a
that.
long show title.
It's like two things, like a mango and a guave
Well,
that mated.
You know, Ren
Maguave.
Fair extended their time through April 2nd this year, so
Because of global warming.
The
Well,
the
no,
days they're
no.
open or the time they're open.
No, because I think it's like an extra week or something that they're going to be open.
mountain
I don't know.
time.
We've gone once.
Usually the end.
And you
And
enjoyed
we've
the
it.
end
lived
of
here
March, I think.
for 16,
Yeah, because we took
17
you guys that
years.
time. It
Yeah.
was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
And
well,
your
maybe
son hugged a swan, and he loved it.
He did.
He
Well, the
loved hugging
swan
that swan.
hugged him back.
It was sweet.
That's
It was
not
touching.
Creepy at all.
And then didn't your daughter buy? My daughter bought like a tail.
Let's
Oh
let's
God,
get this
that's
straight.
right. That was the
She
ear
didn't
cuff
actually.
incident.
Yeah, she didn't actually buy shit.
That was when she like begged.
I actually bought giant gold ear cuffs, not for one ear, but for both.
Right, she
And
begged John
guess-
for those.
I'm going to
She
have to
begged
turn
John
this
for
down.
those.
Somebody's
Wait,
getting
what?
heated.
Ask me how many times she's worn it since.
What?
Ask me.
Like
What?
once, I've seen her wear it. One time, she came to play Magic with us.
Yes,
to
she did.
draft,
I remember that.
And she wore one, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, but I've seen you wear them way more.
I
What?
wore it for a dragon attack wing tournament.
Oh, yeah.
What are
Once.
these?
Ear
It's a
cuffs?
Dragon ear
giant
cuffs.
Ear cuff. It's gold dragon. I'll bring it.
They're
next time
badass.
You
Okay,
can see.
I kind of want to see. You
Yeah.
need pictures.
Yeah, they're badass.
Whoa,
They're
John.
they're huge.
They're
That's all you
awesome.
wear when you wear it, though.
just ear cuffs.
They're
Just the ear
huge.
cuffs and nothing
And they're
else.
gold.
Well,
If
it's
they
probably
weren't
best that
gold,
children
I would
wear
Yeah.
That's not the only huge gold thing in this room.
What?
I don't. Sorry.
Where's that going to?
I
If
don't
they
know.
were gold, I might wear them more.
Gold member? I don't.
I'm gonna have to dethrone. I don't derobe. I'm very confused.
Dethrone.
Yeah.
You're out of here, sir.
The best part of the Ren Fair is the jousting. The jousting's
No,
always
the
good.
best part of the Ren Fair is the pretzels. $2. That's a great deal.
$2.
The guy comes around and I'm like, yeah, I'll take 5 pretzels. And he's like, oh, okay, for you and your friends. I'm like, what friends? I'm like, I want a plain, I want a salted, I want a plain, I want a salted, and then I want a cinnamon for dessert. Give me my pretzels.
Nice.
Do you want mustard? No, don't be weird.
Do you want me to ruin the pretzels for you? I bet they use butter to put the salt on there.
It doesn't
No,
ruin it. I'm
no.
still okay.
I want to go. I want to go. To
I'm the
the
stingier
hair-
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
hair braiding people. I want them to braid my
Oh,
hair.
I've done that before. When my hair was super, super long, like longer than it is
Yeah.
now.
Which
like,
can you
yeah.
imagine? How could it get much
Oh my
longer?
god! And my hair
Like
was
Cousin It.
my hair was braided. Well, my hair was
They
like
do all
past
those
my butt.
Pretty braiding.
I know, and
Yeah.
it was like this huge, crazy braided thing on top of my head. It was so crazy and cool.
I like going
it's-
for the different shows because you got like the Dead Bob show, and then you've got like the washerwoman shows, and the Flying Nun show was hilarious.
Nunny nunnies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, Nunny Nunny.
Yeah.
I
mhm.
don't
Here,
think we
nutty,
saw
nutty.
that one. We saw the
Wow.
No, I
mud-
don't think you
mud
did.
one.
Yeah,
the
the
mud
mud show's
one's good.
and then the drummers,
Yeah.
they're good too.
Did we see the drummers?
Taco.
You guys
taco,
might have
taco.
gotten something while we were listening to them.
I think I do remember the
Burrito.
whip, and I
Burrito.
remember the mud.
You
and
would
the
remember
joust.
the whip in the mud.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And I know why you remember the joust. We all know.
We all remember the jousting.
There's like one guy that
You
looks
can't
semi
forget the
good looking, and so
jousting.
she's like ridiculously in love with him because he's got a horse
What?
and a big stick. I'm very. That's that's what. Yeah, she's. That's why
I
she
am
keeps-
not. I am not the
That's why she's
initiator of
mentioned
comments.
the
I'm not
joust
the,
like 17
no, I am not
times.
the initiator of jousting comments. Okay, I was just sitting there eating a banana.
Who?
Oh.
Okay, that's all I was doing. I was enjoying my fruit to myself, sir. That is it.
I don't know why you're looking at me. You were the one who brought up the jousting when we started talking about the Ren Fair.
Well, I'm saying it's a good show. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So
Yeah,
our
that's it.
so our Twitter poll.
Do you
Speaking
guys
of
need
polls,
like a moment to calm down? Or?
speaking of polls, we had our Twitter poll, How do you handle a bad gamer?
Ooh.
I-
Sorry, all the
I-
bull
Yeah,
talk.
I was
I
gonna
was gonna
say.
say that's actually really easy for me to answer. I ask him if he wants to be my best friend, and I invite him over for all of our games. Oh,
Well, I was gonna
Which one?
oh, I have
I was gonna say if you look around the room and you can't tell who the bad gamer is, it's probably you.
Oh,
I don't know why you guys are looking at me right now.
You're literally in front of me.
I know
so
that's the
why.
worst part. I'm probably the best gamer you know. I'm
So
definitely the best.
we
looking.
have kindly asked them to leave, never invite them back, or chloroform.
I've
It
actually.
sounds a little rapey. Like, you a bad gamer, now you're really going to get it.
Nah,
I'm not gonna rape. I'm just gonna make them pass out and then walk
you're
away.
such
I
a
guess.
bad gamer.
These are things that she came up with. That's what she was like. What would you do with the bad gamer? Ask them to leave,
Well, are
never
we ta-
invite them back, or chloroform their ass, take their money, pull out their teeth, send it to their mom in a package.
You don't take your money, you take their games.
All right, so
Take their
let's
games.
Sell
let's
their
go
kidneys.
with. First of all, what do you mean by bad? Are you talking about somebody that's badly behaved, or just somebody that's just really bad at games?
Or somebody who's
Badly
like bad to the bone.
behaved. Badly
Banana,
behaved.
nana.
Like, is just pissing everybody off at the table because they're being assholes. I mean,
Isn't
just,
that a jerk?
just
jerk gamer? I
pineappling
mean,
everybody off at the table because they're pineapples.
Well,
You can insert
someone's
whatever you
making a
want in the
jerking
pineapple
motion.
there.
insert whatever you want.
So
Not-
it's been
no.
different. So if someone's being like just an a-hole at a gaming table when I'm playing like a board game, I'll usually just ask them to leave. But when we've had somebody one time we were role playing with that was just really weird and just didn't mesh, we just kind of moved the venue and didn't tell them, which was kind of like asking, like not inviting them back. I just didn't let them know that we were continuing the adventures.
Well, this is kind of how a lot of people deal with role players they don't want to deal with anymore. Is
Yeah, they
just,
just
stop
kind of moved.
inviting-
say,
Move
oh,
the venue.
the game. We
Game
stopped,
ended.
but you didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is I think really kind of horrible.
It's kind of shitty.
I think I'm more stubborn, or I'm looking for improvement. I think I would try and improve it or find a way to make it work, but maybe
Yeah.
that's just foolish of me. I don't know.
It just depends on the situation, like and what you're trying to do. Like I said, in board games, I'll be usually more direct because they're shorter. Role playing, this one particular player, I can't even really describe it. It got very.
Are you talking
weird.
about the time I had to ask that one player to leave?
Probably.
Okay, so then
When we
that
were playing
was
Dragon Age.
Or was
Yeah,
it the time
that
that you
was-
chloroformed that guy?
well, I did chloroform him later. Okay.
Well, she like asked
Was
him.
he a jouster?
So it was weird. She,
He was
did,
not.
she asked him to leave, but,
But
then
that's
he
a good
showed
idea,
up
no.
like the next week, anyways.
No,
and then,
so I went ahead and this was one situation that got crazy out of hand. So he was having issues with the group and being very antagonistic towards the group, and I pulled him aside and I said, "Hey, you're being very
he was
antagonistic.
like a player killer.
We
He
need
kept trying to kill the other players.
Yeah,
somehow.
we need to change this." And then we talked about it for a little bit, and it was okay face to face. And then the next session, it didn't go well again. And then over email, I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to come back to the group because we already talked about this." And then he got like fucking pissed off, and he was like trying to get me kicked out of some group and like going back and forth and
then
being like
the group that we were on Meetup happened to be like ending. Like the guy who was running it didn't want to run it anymore, so he's
Yeah.
like, "Who wants this? Whoever will pay for the next couple months can have it." That guy that we were trying to kick out of the group, like
He
got
became
it,
ownership-
and then he kicked
owner of it, and then he
everybody
kicked-
off of it,
yeah.
and like tried to build his own new group.
It turned into this ridiculously crazy, like
then he
vindictive
infiltrated
thing.
a new meetup group that we made.
Yeah,
as
and
like
he
a
tried to
different
get on
person,
there.
and then started bad
Was
mouthing.
he
But
wearing a mustache?
no, we could tell.
That's
it was,
right.
We ended up being
He
able
had
to
a
tell it
goatee,
was
so
him.
it was his evil self.
Right.
No, he already was his
But
evil self.
this guy, it was so crazy because this guy messaged me over and over again for like a month about this. And I'm like, and I was not being mean. I was just like, hey, it's not working out for the group. You need to find another group. There's plenty of
And
other groups.
that's why
in
some
here.
people just move the venue because
Right.
they
Yeah.
don't want to deal with all that extra. I
Right.
think if you give them a
People
shot
don't like
and then you push them away,
They don't.
I'm actually super confrontational, like almost.
Shocking.
No, it's true though. Like I don't let my friends get cheated and stuff. I mean, half the time when we'll be out playing an event or something, if I feel like someone's like kind of like trying to pull one over on somebody else I know, like I'll step in for them even though I'm not involved. I'll be like, wait a minute, hold on, what are you trying to do? And like So I don't mind confrontation, but it's kind of like I'll try to push you away. If you come back again, then I'll be like, take it to the next more serious level. If you're still hanging around being weird after that, then it's like something's got to change. This is just too much. And
Yeah,
then
look
he
in
moves.
the mirror, I think. Make a
Well,
change.
For once in your life.
This is not the first time, though, that we have been subject to having a really bad gamer, because we had that one person that we played the vampire game with that everything also got very
it wasn't us, was
antagonistic.
it?
No. It was like when we first got
Are
here.
you guys still playing Vampire? We're not invited?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
we
that's-
thought that
This
they
is
just
awkward.
canceled it.
Actually, we gotta go.
There was another player that we were playing vampire with, and it ended up escalating. That actually almost got into a fight. Like,
Yeah.
that had to be. That was like a fight that had to be separated. So like
Yeah.
that obviously went bad, and that was a weird situation too.
Well, and again, that GM did not go far enough with asking the player to leave. And here's the
because I didn't.
here's
ask
the
him
thing.
to.
So I'm looking at the poll results, and I'll tell you the poll results first. So,
Oh wait, do you want to get everyone else's responses?
well, I
or-
thought everybody else responded.
Did they?
Did everybody?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Go around the table, and then I'll tell you the poll results.
I actually...
You were the one that did
I
respond.
was the one that did not.
Aw.
And, well, it was...
You don't even want this confrontation.
I don't like confrontation, so I would definitely
Just move the
avoid
venue or
the situation.
not invite him back.
Yeah, give him a couple chances, like you guys. It sounded like you did, but I would definitely just stop talking to that person over time.
So if
and
Just Colleen
stop
ever gets
inviting
really quiet with
So
you,
if
at
you-
Prophet,
yeah, if
you
you-
fucked up, and you probably need to stop.
If all of a
She
sudden
gave
Just
you some
Colleen loses
chances.
your number and you don't know where the next RPG group is at or the board game group, like
Well, so, like,
Ugh.
how many games in did this occur into the? what
it
you
was
get-
first game.
First game.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so this
First
is
game.
why I recommend.
And then hold on, and then the other one on the vampire game was
like
probably like
9-10 games.
yeah,
in.
9 or 10 games.
We had played other games with them before
Yeah.
too. We
Okay,
played D&D
so-
with them before, so it was really a weird situation.
It's out of nowhere.
It
Right.
ended up being an overpowered character that ended up trying to turn on the rest of the group. And then he'd always have to take the storyteller aside and be like, "Well, this is what I want to do
Well,
before they know about
Vampire
it and do all this stuff."
can
and
become an antagonistic game,
It
but I mean,
can, but
it can become
too
that way.
much.
But there's a good stopping point on it if you have a good.
you can't
if
take
you
it to
have
a personal
GM.
level, especially if
Yeah.
you can't back it up. And that was his
Well.
biggest issue.
So I kind of recommend before, especially for RPGs or board games, is the first meeting of a group be at a public location.
Oh yeah, we did that.
We had
Except for that one time.
Well, except for the one time.
I met you at a public place.
well,
and I have many regrets.
dozen times when you forgot me.
That's true. I think I met him like
at the more.
I did technically meet him like 3 times before.
You did
I
meet
knew
him a
who
whole
he
bunch of
actually
times,
was.
yeah.
And then when I saw him, I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I know Richard."
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah,
I'm like,
come
what's
on,
his
saying
name
you know
again?
Richard.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
know who
Oh
he is.
yeah.
No, I have one of those like faces. I look like all white people. So
It's
I am. Oh.
It's racist, but also true.
I am
but yeah, I
everywhere.
recommend like meeting
looks like
in
powder.
a public place first. And
That's safe for everybody involved, especially
Well,
for women. You
definitely.
always want to meet in a public place. If you want female players, you meet in a public place. Because
So not a sex dungeon.
no, not a sex dungeon, not
Well,
your
what- well,
personal
can
address.
you
kind
meet
of
at
dungeon
Fascinations?
You'd be like-
or
It's public.
You're
What
like,
kind of
hey
dungeon?"
guys, let's just have this RPG, this role playing game at my house.
What if it's just a Netflix
with you
and
and
chill
7
dungeon?
other dudes? It'll be totally fine. I know you've never met
Because
me
it's
before.
always 7
That's
other
the fucking creepiest shit ever. Like, don't do that, guys. Like, dude, public locations.
So
Well-
what were the results?
Well, hold on. I don't think everybody said their stuff.
Oh,
well, that I probably say I just asked him to leave. Basically,
asked
that
him
was
to
kind of my response because chloroform is expensive.
Well, it is.
and you get on lists.
And iProfit already said he would just continue.
Okay.
To,
yeah,
to bang
he
his head
picked like
against the wall.
he picked an extra option where he was just like, I will actually make them think that I'm their best friend, and I'll continue to play games with them for years.
So I thought the poll results on this were really interesting. So 13% of people kindly asked them to leave. 80% would never invite them back, and then 7% said they would chloroform.
Well,
So
'cause
all those
chloroform,
kinksters
that's-
out
They're
there.
on a watch list now.
They're going for the funny factor.
I
but-
feel like
hopefully,
at this point,
hopefully. If not, I'm not inviting them back.
At this point, though, I mean, although that seems like a really great option to just,
See?
okay, we're not going
to
to.
chloroform.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, we're not going to invite them back, but it does a disservice to everybody involved because then that person doesn't know why that they've
They
been
know
excluded.
Should be in a circle and
They
they're like,
don't.
here's the
They don't
talking
know why.
thing. You hold it and you can say your
Yeah.
feelings and we'll go around.
I agree with you for the
like
most
an
part.
intervention.
But you have to be in the right sort of frame of mind to be able
Well,
to
I was
do
gonna say
that.
I agree with you for the most part, but every situation is different, and sometimes I am not their psychologist. It's not I'm not being paid to be in a game.
You don't
with them.
have to
if they
be-
suck, I can just be like, "You suck. I don't want you around anymore."
You
Sorry.
don't have to
Screw
be
you
their
guys, I'm
psychologist,
going
but
home.
you need to let them know what the issue was, because otherwise they're just going to go and join another gaming
Well, I have
group
told
and make
somebody
the
I
same
just
mistakes.
don't want you back in our group. It doesn't
Same
work.
mistakes.
I've said that I don't
I
want you
don't
back in the
like you.
group because you're not working well with the party, and that was it. Like they can figure it out on their own. I'm not trying to be. You better
most
pay me
people
$50 an
aren't
hour to be your
like you.
psychiatrist.
People don't like confrontation.
Which, yeah, I understand. So now, whenever like there's any kind of game and then it ends abruptly, I just assume they didn't like me, and then I've been
Well,
kicked out.
overall, I'm just going to start going with the chloroform option.
But
so.
yeah, not
I've heard
inviting,
it takes longer than they show in the movies.
Well,
It
Just
does.
saying.
Yeah, not inviting people back is a good way to be like running
Keep
into
that
them
money.
at another
Yes.
event and then going,
Yes.
"Oh, hey, what's going
Hey,
on?"
it's so
And-
weird. It's so weird.
Yeah, so like you just have to at least somebody has to tell somebody, because otherwise it's just going to get real weird real quick.
Absolutely, and especially with so many gamers in the Valley and stuff. Like, you just need to be upfront with those people and let them know why it wasn't working. You know, approaching the situation from a good angle
You're a
makes
Virgo.
it so
I'm a Pisces. This will never work.
makes it so they'll be better in their next gaming group, and that's.
A,
I mean,
a
you
good
got-
angle is really important to everything.
Well, that's very true.
Yes, so true.
that's very true.
Yeah.
So, new games we've
I
played.
feel like I have angles watching
Talking
over
about
me.
angles. Talking about angles. We talk about all the good angles in Onitama.
Oh,
No.
this game is great.
We should have
Wow,
it.
that is
I
a
know my
transition.
transitions are horrible, but hers are kind of horror bad too, right? Like you guys hear this?
Did you just say horror bad?
Horror bad.
Oh,
Horror bad. There's a silent A that's also pronounced.
Are you
And
a
an
horror
extra
or
R.
bad?
Horror bad.
Horror or bad?
Horror bad. Horror bad.
Why are you so
Onitama.
horror bad?
Onitama.
That's racist.
so it's chess light, but you have moves that go back
Chess
and
light. I
that
like
go
that.
back and forth between
I
the players.
don't. Because
Why are you taking my notes? These are my notes.
Because you just stop with your transitions.
No.
Onitama. Chess is all right, but I feel like it can get stale after a while, and you can definitely be outmatched sometimes. Like if you're playing somebody, they can definitely outmatch you. Like I'm thinking of examples of like when my father was teaching me how to play. It was kind of unfair. He definitely.
Oh my
was
God,
wrong.
what is
I
going
didn't.
on over there?
But I feel like
Hold on. What is happening over there?
I was trying to whisper, but she's got headphones on.
Whisper into the mic next time.
No.
Is this
We're-
dirty? What is happening here?
Yeah, we just couldn't contain ourselves during the podcast. We
I don't
must
know.
whisper
You're over
sweet
here
nothings.
freaking giggling with each other. and
You
like,
guys were laying on the floor earlier.
well,
so
that's very true. You did crawl up on him on the floor.
Well, you know,
I mean,
we still got it.
Are
I
you?
guess.
I was gonna say like, are you trying to shame the married couple? Like,
no, I'm
stop
just saying.
being amorous,
like,
you two.
there was a lot
I
of
was
shit
trying
going
to.
on.
I was trying to discreetly ask her if that was a game we played earlier because I couldn't remember, and then she was just like,
Oh my god. Well, I'm glad we stopped.
And
asking
so
for that.
it made me
you
laugh,
never
and I'm like, no, it wasn't. But I didn't know
that's
how
the next
to
game.
Yeah.
go into that.
Yeah.
with
No.
him.
This is
'Cause I
the
don't-
one with,
Onitama's the one with the masters. You had the red
Yeah.
master and the blue master. We played
and
this
it was
one.
like five
I-
pieces
I
for
got
each person.
I got that now. I was trying to get
Yeah.
discreet
Discreetly.
clarification.
Yeah.
You know, let's just go back to shaming you for PDA. Shame.
Just chloroform.
Shame.
Shame.
There you go.
There you go. The bell ringing. Shame.
That sounds lovely.
So, yeah, it's not the one we played earlier.
No.
the one
That's
with the master.
Santorini.
So well then,
Yeah.
Or Santori.
did anybody explain this game?
Should we? Should we?
Yeah.
I was trying to actually when you guys started doing
Were
that.
you?
Because he
I
said
weren't
he
listening.
called it chess light, and then I started explaining the
It
game.
is
So
chess
it's
light
cool.
because
I've
It's
abandoned
not.
this bit, so
no, you have a specific set of moves that you
Don't
use.
call a game something else light. That's dumb.
Well, that's exactly what it is though, because you have a specific set of moves, and then only your characters or only your pieces can move with those movements that you have in
I
front
would
of
argue
you.
with less pieces and then varied moves that you can see coming, like they're telegraphed, you know exactly what your opponent can and can't do, is way more difficult than chess.
Well,
But
and
Way
also,
more difficult.
no
I would say it's more
way.
difficult than
Holy
chess.
crap.
Chess is insanely difficult.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to be hard to win. So Onitama, I feel, is pretty hard to win.
Well, okay, so
When's the last time you played chess, sir?
When's the last time you played some, ma'am? I mean, do you want me to get out my dates?
I
Hold
played
on.
chess
It
with
was-
our daughter.
It was August 2014. I believe it was a balmy Tuesday.
I play chess with player 3 all the time.
Well, I think
Yeah, you beat a 6-year-old. Good job.
I'm just saying that it's more complex than Onitama. Onitama is a very
have to
light
agree.
version.
but
think chess is more complex?
The
Yeah.
cool
There's too
I
much.
think it's that
There's way
hard.
too many pieces, and
But with all those
remembering
pieces,
the
you can
movements
trap
and-
people really easily.
There's
You
not good at
can't.
it.
there's more
Not good at it.
movement in chess than there are stars in the galaxy. So
Yeah. Chess,
Wrong.
yes, there are. There are more moves in chess.
the majority of people
That
do
seems
not know
impossible.
how to trap a king in chess, to do a checkmate.
Okay, well, we play games. I know how to trap a king to checkmate. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Well, why
the
don't we just go
actual
back to which
physical
one I would
portion
want to
of it.
play, and it's not
Okay.
chess.
Well-
I'd rather play
Well,
on
what
Onitama.
makes this game more interesting than chess is the fact that you take the move you just made and hand it to your opponent.
Absolutely.
So they're
There's-
cards that have the moves on them that you can see what they can move and how
Right.
you can move. And
Right.
then you just did this move and you have to give it to your opponent. That makes this vastly more interesting in a very
Hugely
light way.
more interesting. And then plus you get a large deck of those movements, so every single game you play is
Well,
not
right. That's
the same.
That's my thing. Is you can't go. Oh, I know I'm going to go right to A3 and start off there, and then I'm going to go to King's Gambit, and then I'm going to move the rook over. I mean, every single game is going to be completely different based off.
So
the
you're
cards
saying you
that
don't
are
have like
given.
a playbook, basically.
Yeah, I feel. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
chess is all about knowing what moves to make in the beginning, and then you can go into patterns again and
Right,
again.
you
and
can
again.
have
He
openings,
does
you
this
can have
pattern.
an
I go
overall
Right.
to this pattern. He goes this pattern. It's kind of like
Right,
almost
so
like
if you have-
fencing, where if he does this move, I go into this move. If he does this move, I do this move. It's
I was going to kind of compare it to like tug of war, but yeah, I agree that there's a like a strike,
You're right.
turn kind of
In
mentality.
chess, you,
you know what?
can
You don't
if
even
you
need
have
to finish that. Just stop with "you're right," and we'll just move on to the next segment.
in chess you can have a skilled player versus a lower skilled player and have the skilled player take over the lower skilled player very easily just because of those specific things that they might memorize and certain strategies,
Right.
But in Onitama, it's very hard to do that because you do have a different set of rules every time you're playing because your pieces move differently every single time. So it makes it more interesting. I like it.
So we can agree not on the name of it, but it is more interesting.
And it's really well made too. I really like the neoprene
Yeah,
mat,
so good.
And it's a small like
It is a small
think of
box,
it
so
like
that's
a Jenga
nice.
like a Jenga size.
It is a
box
Jenga size box.
that has a magnetic clasp that opens
Yeah.
up, and the pieces. I think the pieces
Very
can be
quality.
sculpted a little bit better, but the
I-
plastic is.
I'm
Well,
nice.
that's
terrible
just
at
like
Yeah.
these kind
I was
of
gonna say.
games
That's
now.
just like anything else. So you could upgrade that with nicer pieces. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Well,
only
I
have to have
think-
one unique piece and then like what 4 non-unique pieces, or is it 5?
I think it's
6?
4.
4 or
Because I
5.
think you have 5 pieces total. So you have the master
Yeah,
and
so
then
you
the
could,
apprentices.
You could easily change. I mean, I'll make it. One of them is a dragon from Arcadia Quest,
you
and
could
the
do
other 4 are
Jedis.
goblins.
Yeah.
Boom! That's the new master.
But
Deal with that.
it's very like elegant design, elegant classic design to it, and really good construction.
So let's just go around the room real quick. Chess or Onitama? Which one are you playing?
I like neither.
Okay, next.
I think they're different kind of games.
Yeah, I
You
think
know,
that's
like-
an unfair
No,
question.
one of them is chess and one's chess light. So you have to pick chess or chess light. That's what we all decided.
No, that's
Where-
what you decided. Sir.
No, it's not. That's what you two called it.
I was trying to describe the game.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
But are they one is one a lighter version of the other one? Or are they two completely different games?
Is chess like an appropriate term?
Chess
for you?
like would be, but not
All right.
chess light.
all right, fine.
Oh
So
my
you don't want
God.
to. You're saying because there's different mechanics that it's not just like a lesser version of chess.
Right.
Because there are chess variants, and you know
3D chess.
and like well, and sometimes
Harry
you might
Potter.
sometimes you might do chess where you start with this kind of reminds me of where you would play like a scenario of chess where certain pieces are left on the board and you're trying to figure something out. But this has an extra element, like you said, that chess doesn't have. That has that give and take of the moves and stuff like that. That adds another layer of strategy to the game
Right,
that
like when
chess
we were
doesn't
playing it,
have.
I'm thinking, okay, what move's good for me, but what do I also am I okay passing to you? Like, what am I going to give you that's going to hurt me?
Right, because you could hold certain
Right.
cards
You can-
because
you
Like, I
actually
held the card for
control-
like 5 turns
you
just so
have
he
control
couldn't
over
move
part of the
forward.
mechanics of the game. It's
Right.
not like
Yeah.
in chess where you can be like, if I do this, his queen can't move these ways. You know,
Right.
so I think it's chess-like. I agree with you that it's chess-like, but there are different elements. I think it's like chess because it's simplicity in how it works. You know, and chess is a very simplistic game. It's, you know, in what everything actually does. Sure, there's a lots of different moves. I don't know if it's as many stars in the galaxy, but there's a lot of moves and there's a lot of patterns that you could do. And so yes, chess is more complicated because there's just more variables. But I think that they are similar. But I agree with you, Doctor.
I hope we can hear that on the Can we go back? Never mind.
So I wouldn't really call it chess light either. I would call it more chess like. And I think I would play them in different situations depending on who I'm playing with or when I'm playing. Because,
Right.
you know,
I think for this, I would say Onitama, if I have 20 minutes to play a game, I'll play Onitama.
right.
If I want to like sit back and have a snifter of whiskey and I want to hang out and have a conversation and really think about a game and really just kind of like relax and just play something. I think
Long
chess,
game.
Yeah, long game.
Yeah.
Chess is a long game.
Right, absolutely.
And you can play it short, but you can also get horribly
Right.
trounced.
I think that Onitama, like Hive, is a great introduction to kids before they play chess, because you're learning that specific items can have specific movements in a game and then how to utilize those to your advantage. And then moving them to chess as a second step on that and going, okay, well, here's a game where we learn with pieces and movements, you know, like you were learning before, but these are set, you know. So, yeah, again, like Richard, you know, if I have 20 minutes, then definitely Onitama. It was a super simplistic game, very interesting, and I would teach it to anybody before playing chess, basically.
I feel like I would never play chess after playing that.
I love chess.
Okay.
well, you know, one thing I think you kind of touched on is that I think it kind of teaches you something that you should do in chess is to kind of move your pieces together. So since
Right.
you only start with 3, like you start feeling like you got to depend on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think what a lot of novice or younger players do in chess, because I've taught kids chess and trying to teach them that you can't just go Rambo with one piece. Like,
Right.
He runs over to the other side like
And then,
right. You can't. Right. You can't take everyone on. You have
Right.
to kind of move as a unit. You have to like back each other up and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I think this game kind of inherently teaches you that because you only have your limited pieces to begin with. So I think it's easier to see that you need coordinated kind of almost teamwork from your pieces as opposed to just trying to blitz something with one piece.
What's gonna work?
I don't know.
Teamwork.
What? Teamwork? Oh, God.
Hey, if any of our listeners have kids, they got it at least.
So I was actually looking up how many moves are in chess, and
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
and I can see what Richard is saying. They say that it's infinite because after you make one move, there's 400 different positions, and then you can make 72,000 based off of that. And it just multiplies and multiplies and multiplies. So they're saying like in a game of chess, there's infinite amount.
Oh
of
my God.
Because you move one piece can infinitely change all the rest.
My mic is hooked on the dog.
So
But-
I don't feel like it can be infinite, but there's a lot.
But there's a lot of moves that you would like never kind of do and stuff like that. You know,
True.
like you like moving forward and moving right.
They don't
back,
say like
you
what's
know,
realistic moves, but you don't know. I play a pretty crazy style. I play drunken monkey style when I play chess.
Yeah, I lay my piece down until they think it's dead, and they come over, and then you're like,
Here we
It
go.
becomes
Ow.
battle chess.
Ow.
Battle chess. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
game. You could do the chess with shots in it. Maybe you should do Onitama with shots. Did you little shot glasses there?
I feel like you just want shots.
Well, that's different. Shots. Our other game that we played is also on that same level of kind of like moving and aspects and building. That
It's
is,
Lite.
the light version
Oh.
is Santorini.
Yeah, I would call that Onitama Lite.
Only Lite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, because you have 2 actions. This is an awesome game for everybody because you do have 2 things that you do on your movement, and so you can teach anybody this game.
I'm surprised you're actually not talking about the board. This is the one time that I've actually been impressed by a board. It's a little rock, little flat spot. You get to build little towers, like actually build them.
It reminds me of
up.
like Mousetrap and setting up the board because you
Except
have to have
it's
everything
like,
connecting
but it's only
there
like
and
one
stuff. It is
thing you're
like the
connecting.
super
Mousetrap
short
is like
version.
100 things.
I mean, they could have just.
It's like Mousetrap Lite.
Yeah, nice.
Good one.
It's just gonna keep going. I'm sure.
We're gonna do podcast light for this.
Yeah, and we're
Richard
done.
Light, how do you feel about Santorini?
I really think this is a really interesting little in between, or just
It's a light game.
yeah.
Well, it can last actually quite a while though because Dr.
Especially if you played it a
GloryHoundd.
little earlier, and then you kind of know what you're doing.
Right, exactly. So you know what you're doing, you're going through, and Dr. GloryHoundd and I played for, how long did we play for? We used up pretty much almost like every piece that we had in that box
Yeah.
when we played
I would
because
agree
we
with
were
that.
like douchily blocking each
Douchily?
other. Douchily blocking each
Well, I
other.
mean that's
Interesting.
Kind of,
Yeah.
It just, I got to a position where her
Both
where her
have
2
words
pieces
this
were,
time.
she couldn't move
I was
to
in
put
an
a tower up.
uncompromising position
Whoa.
in the back of a
She couldn't put the
Volkswagen.
3rd tower up, or I would just move my character and just immediately cap it.
Right.
And so she had 2 stuck there, and
I
I
made
had
one mistake, and
So
he
all,
played
all
on
I
it.
had to do is wait for her to make one move away.
Oh my
from
God,
that
you
thing,
won.
and
Okay, calm down.
I'm trying to explain.
I do
the
have a
scenario,
gripe
but-
though about those caps. Like they represent the caps on the box as being able to cap at any level, and I think
That is
that
not
would
the
be
case,
much more
yeah.
strategic if you could just
Trade
cap.
Maybe-
maybe iProfit. Can you describe this game?
Well, Dr. GloryHoundd was already describing.
No, he
it.
wasn't. He didn't say anything.
So you
Talking
have
about the board.
Yeah.
So
you did-
basically, this game is
Like now, nobody wants to ever describe a game because I have a patented way of reviewing games. God,
it's how I teach every game ever. I start teaching it, and then he jumps in. Like, so
yeah, because you
basically,
start boring people.
He's like, all right, we only need part of these rules.
She's
He
like-
throws like half the rules
Yeah.
away. He's like,
No,
we'll
this
be
is-
fine. Don't worry about it.
This is
We'll
what
be
she
fine."
does. She goes, let me lead you through a 4-hour demonstration of this game where you
I
can't
don't
touch
do
the pieces
that.
or actually do anything. Now
That's
you have
not the
you
case
have
at
all
all.
these rules memorized. Good, continue on. And I'm like, can we touch the pieces? Can I know what they are?
I'm just
I feel
as
like-
bad. I just want to read
You don't
the
want-
rules out
I just
loud.
want to
just
like
wanna
I
touch all
wanna
the
play
pieces.
a demo round. Just give me one round, and I'm like, okay, I understand.
everybody
Let's just
learns
play.
differently.
I also think you're the only person that got bored.
What on what Santorini?
No, when
On-
she's
when
just,
she's-
when we're describing something, I think.
You jump in there.
I see other wandering eyes. I'm not going to call out names, but I know somebody else who gets real
So
bored too and just
basically,
starts playing on their phone.
What
until
you
it's over.
have are you have 2
Just clean.
pawns that you have on the board, and you have one thing that you can do, and that's move and then build a piece, which you can build at any level as long as there's something there to accommodate it. So it's going to be in your little grid.
It's in-
so
These are
Adjacent.
building. These are
yeah, any
buildings.
adjacent
You're
building.
building
Yeah,
towers.
you're building towers. And overall, you're trying to get your
Ivory
piece
towers.
to the top of the 3rd tower, and you can't jump up to the 3rd tower. You have to walk your piece up to the 1st level, and then to the 2nd level, and then to the 3rd level. But you have other players trying to block your progress by capping off things. So, you can't jump from the ground level to the 2nd level.
Which
So somebody
brings
might
me-
try to cap you off, or, cap off your 3rd level with a dome piece
Trying to
and
cap
stuff.
me off, bro.
So, I
so
mean,
before we started this game, I asked her because she played it at work first, and I said,
Yeah.
"You're not gonna," because she usually plays the butthole card where she like blocks
Wow.
everything
The
and like.
blo-
It's like a brown eye.
no, wait, I do
No,
play the butthole
try
card.
Try
Yeah,
to
I
play
do.
Quirkle with her. She will
Yeah,
like not
I
let-
block all that
She won't
shit.
let anybody get one. She's
I
like,
do.
"No, I'm gonna purposely
No one will
mess this up."
quirkle in this game.
So with Santorini, I asked her how many of these things did you cap off when you played it at lunch with your friend, and she's like, "Oh, we only use like 3 or 4 caps. I don't cap off a lot of stuff." We're playing this thing. She used like 14, 15 caps on my stuff. She's like, "Cap this, cap that, cap this, cap that, cap this, cap that." To the point where we started counting the caps, like how many caps do we have left? We got to the point where every piece had some type of foundation on it, except for like 3, and we realized it's always like you have 3 less spaces than the total board. You have 3 less of the 2nd level than the
It
other
was
one.
close to a
'Cause you have
stalemate.
to have somewhere that your people can stand, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
Right.
you actually have
So
4
there's only, like,
spaces
3
on the
spa-
board
so we
that,
only
yeah.
we had all the foundations that we could possibly use out, and then we were running out of like the middles and the thirds, and
It was a gorgeous
there's less.
landscape.
There's less of each
of
as you
buildings.
go up the levels, but yeah, and she
And-
just capped like everything. It was ridiculous.
Doesn't this go up to 4-player?
It does. So you can play it with 3 players or 4 players. With 4 players, you play as teams against each other, and then you rotate. Still blue team. Gray team, blue team, gray team, like that through everybody.
Don't the in 3 players and 4 players you get to have powers?
Yes,
like
and then you have powers.
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 Just like in chess.
Yeah.
Oh well, killer chess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The powers are like God's blessings that you get, and then they change certain aspects
How
of
much
the
more
games.
could he bless me? I mean, come on, full package here.
So, but so and it's actually, I mean, you don't need to play with the powers, but they do give an interesting aspect to the game.
Like
Overall,
what's a power?
I don't know. I didn't look at them.
Like
always
meat
wish-
vision.
I always wish I had
That's
a girlfriend
right.
named The Power.
Oh God. Big
there's
little
still
baby
time.
ducks, send them to the moon. Sorry, that's for all the Adventure Time lovers out there, right?
Nope.
No, not
Yeah,
Adventure
Adventure
Time. What was it?
Regular. show.
Regular show.
Even I knew that one.
Regular show.
didn't
It's
watch
like
that
by the
one.
same
She so
it's like by
hates
the
Regular
same
Show.
artist.
And she gets so mad because
Same
I love
artist.
that episode.
It's
It is.
Ian McGinty,
Oh, yeah, see,
She gets
that-
super mad about
That's way
that
more
show.
technical than I get.
who also did the Munchkin.
The special guest artist
Yeah.
Munchkin.
Guest artist Munchkin. Sorry. That's about intermission, I think, guys.
A bunch of baby ducks, send them to the moon.
If you don't get the email, you know why. Based off our last podcast.
I'm sorry, what?
John doesn't get any of them, actually.
Yeah, well, we purposely don't email him because we keep hoping that you won't pass it along.
He has been uninvited for a long time.
He unfortunately has a key to the house, though. Well, if he did, it would be a lot more convenient.
Well, we've known him at a decent amount of time now.
Oh, now it's okay?
Our
No, actually,
relationship
it's not.
is
It's
past
not.
light.
Yeah, it's past the light.
We're friends, like.
Yeah. I mean, there's a vetting process, okay? So you've made it to the next level. Give me these notes.
Damn
Kickstarters.
controller.
Kickstarters, Satanic Panic. Let's do this. Who really enjoys Satanic Panic?
Well, I think that was a really interesting time. But I'm gonna let the doctor go out this first. So
I like how you're like, who really wants to talk about this? And then, like, let's all just stare at him and hope it's him.
I won't lie.
mean,
I
I
didn't. That was the one I missed.
Satanic
looking up.
Panic?
Okay.
I thought this was a really interesting
So-
Kickstarter.
have you
Right.
have you heard about what? Do
It's-
you know what the Satanic Panic?
Yeah, have you guys
was?
ever seen the comic for it? By
Well-
any chance?
Well, that's the God. What's the name of that guy?
I'm trying to think of who made the comic, but it's kind of in the same.
Chick Track. Satanic Panic.
Well, there's also it's kind of in the same venue of like Reefer Madness, and probably more people have heard about that, where it's a ridiculous movie that's like, don't smoke reefer or you'll have to stab your friends in the neck with a glass
Your
bottle.
head will
Like,
explode.
yeah, it goes like such a crazy level where they're like, "Oh wow, this weed's really fun," and the next thing you know, they're like,
Their
"Let's rob
family
a bank."
dies.
You know,
Yeah.
like it
The
gets,
family
Or it's like that
dies when you
special
smoke
Saved by the
reefer.
Bell episode where they drank the one beer.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
and then
exactly
they're
it.
all just like,
Then they crash their car into a hole.
Yeah.
And then they have to hide getting it repaired.
Yeah.
I know it all.
So back in the
Oh.
late 70s, early 80s, D&D was basically considered satanic.
Well, it
because they had that one
Well,
incident.
I was gonna say
Right.
more like Westboro Church like considers it satanic. You know,
Right.
it's like there's some religious group that's
But
like,
it was-
this is satanic.
Well,
it
there's
was all over
still-
the news, though, so it
Yeah.
wasn't just like.
Well, I wasn't
Westboro
alive
Baptist.
then, so I didn't catch that.
Right,
Well,
so most
honestly-
people only heard about it through that one incident, so it kind of.
Well, tell me more about this incident because I actually wasn't alive then.
It's they had someone
So
like,
young.
weren't they actually?
There's a movie.
Killed?
There's the Tom Hanks movie, right? The monsters and. Oh damn it! All right, never mind.
And what's the volleyball's name? Is that what it is?
Oh my God.
No.
Are you guys talking about Big or Splash? Are we talking about Splash? Is Daryl Hannah the demon?
but anyway, there's
the
a
name of the
Yeah, it
volleyball.
was Wilson. Are you
Wilson,
looking it up?
right.
Wow, you Siri like a champion.
So
Satan.
basically, the guy he ended up killing himself, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Was it because like his character died or something, or was it more like in the
I
game?
think it was
something
someone
happened?
had like mental issues and they couldn't separate reality from the game kind of thing. So it was one of those things. It would have been no different if like he thought he was Super Mario and ran around like jumping on people's heads. Like,
Right, or like
you
somebody
know.
goes like, I listened to Black Sabbath like backwards, and so now I have to like kill a nurse off of a
Well,
clock
here's
tower.
the thing: is highly religious groups always think that things that give you more passion or things that promote imagination or any sort of
Not
alternative
not
thinking.
always, but yeah, it's
But also,
well, if you're highly like
yeah, well, if it's a
religious,
controlling religion, a more
right,
controlling
right.
religion,
Well,
then that would be that satanic panic where this is going to
lead to other
lead
bad
to
things.
Satan.
It's a
Because
One day you're rolling a d4 to
Right.
shoot magic missile, and the next minute you're summoning Beelzebub. Like,
right, you're
that's what
summoning
we do.
demons.
You wish.
Which I
You have to be
mean,
a 13th level caster for that. Duh.
D&D originated where they did talk about stuff like that, where they talk about you need belladonna for these sort of specific spells and stuff. So they do actually go
Dabble a little bit into
into a
more
form of
spiritual-
spiritual or witchcraft sort of thing, because they're talking about witches and wizards and stuff like that, and warlocks. But they labeled that if you're going to play D&D, like you're summoning demons. And
Well, they did the same
devil's
thing with
coming in.
Magic the Gathering when it first started,
Right.
where, like, I mean, we played it at my school at one point in time, and then somebody walked by and they're like, "What is that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's this is this and that." And someone's like, "Is that a demon?" It's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You're playing with demons?"
Yeah.
Oh, and they like ran off and told the teacher, and then it was banned from school because there was like a demon
Right,
on
well,
the card, and it was
right.
like a 3/3. It's really, it's a very weak demon.
It was
it's like
an
back in the
imp,
day.
okay?
You
It was
had
an
like
imp.
It
some of
probably
the
was
demon
it
lords.
was actually probably a djinn or something. They're like, "You're playing with a genie?" I'm telling.
Well, then you had like the demonic pact and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Right.
yeah.
So just seeing the
Demonic
word
tutor.
demon or something, they're like,
They
"Oh,
had to
that means
change the
that it's
word
got to be
and
something
stuff.
bad."
Right.
And so they automatically assumed, and just like it got outlawed because somebody didn't take the time to figure out what it was, and they just outlawed it.
Right. So it was Mazes and Monsters. It was 1982. It was a TV movie where
Mazes and monsters.
Oh, that would
okay.
make
Tom
sense.
Hanks was basically played the guy that was delusional.
We should have watched that movie like before the
That would
show.
probably been really
Right.
interesting. But the basis for the game we're talking about is the satanic panic is real. The tabletop player, they call it
Yeah.
tabletop. The tabletop players are actually doing magic. So it's like
It's like a spoof of a spoof almost.
It really is.
and you're like you're on a team of special forces that have
Right,
to take
yeah,
out the
like
tabletoppers.
Men in Black trying to infiltrate these D&D organizations to break up this, satanic rituals and stuff.
if you play a lot of RPGs, I could
hilarious.
see this being like a nice like.
It would be
almost a
hilarious.
break,
Yeah.
where you could kind of laugh at some of the silly stuff that you do
Right.
almost yourself. Like,
It's kind of meta.
Yeah. It is very meta, and that's what I loved about it. Whenever I started reading about this, I was like, this game is fantastic. Because what other sort of role-playing game can you think of that openly makes fun of role-playing while also being really interesting in that effect that you want to role-play it still?
Okay, so I missed the second. This game misses the second part, but Hackmaster totally makes fun of the entire D&D genre.
Does it?
It's. Have you ever read Knights of the Dinner Table? It's a comic book that was it's all these
Right.
role players adventuring together,
that
and
sounds familiar.
but it's by the Hackmaster is by the same people, and like they have charts that are D10,000 charts. So you roll
Nice.
like 5 D10 to roll on this chart. It's a D10,000, and that's like a critical hit table, and it's like, okay, this part, and then go to this part. It's like literally 20 pages of a critical hit to
It
where
almost
you're
becomes
hitting
like a weird make your own, like choose your own adventure. It's like turn to page 28, and it's like turn to page 51. It's like turn to page 28.
right. So people are apparently. I ran into somebody that actually played more than one game of this. I was like, really? Okay.
Hackmaster or the
Hackmaster. Yeah, Satanic Panic. I would be really interested to play it just because I think it'd be
Yeah, I'd
it's
be
like
really
a Delta
interested
Green
to play it
game.
too.
kinda
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. And I was reading about it. And is this the one that had like where you play through scenarios? Or?
yeah.
Okay.
And scenarios.
Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting too. And then, but they're varied, so each one's going to be different with the choices you make and everything.
Well, that's when you
But-
know something's gotten big, is when it's got like a mock of its own self. It's
Oh,
got
that's
a
true.
joke set, like which that happens in a lot of
joke
games. They
game
have
of
like a
it, yeah.
joke set of like a serious game.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. Like that, and it's something different to play if you're going to do a fun little D&D sort
Probably
of game.
be good at a con or something, right? As long as
yeah.
everyone's
Oh yeah,
funny.
definitely. It would be
You have to
definitely good
screen
at a
your
con.
players and make sure they're funny. Like, give me 3 puns, go.
Is it already funded?
It just went up. So when the
Good question.
people listening to our show hear this, they'll still have 20 days to do this. So
And
it
the rest
just
of the world
went
will
up.
also still have
I
20
think
days.
they did. I think
No,
they,
just our listeners.
yeah,
Oh.
just our listeners.
This is a GloryHoundd exclusive game that you can only kickstart if you're
I
a
think it
listener.
might have just funded today. I am not for sure on that though, but
What's interesting though is like anyone that doesn't listen to that won't know, and then if you've listened, then you've listened.
And so you
it's like-
are
and
Yeah.
then you know.
exclusive GloryHoundd member.
Oh,
I know. That's why I said it like that.
it's another really interesting
welcome.
game. Heavy hitters.
Oh, I'm so excited about this.
Your transitions are doing okay.
Yeah, you can't lay on that joke too hard, or she's gonna get you back later.
So,
She always gets me back.
well, you
Trend
like
in
it
the
though.
front.
You like it though. Heavy hitters. It reminds me of like an anime just in a game, basically, like
Also
a
kinda
mech
like,
style anime
You know,
game.
BattleTech kind of.
Yeah.
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 It's mech
So-
anime.
So there's a couple of really interesting
Back in
things
eight.
about this. It was designed by Weta Workshop, which is the same guys behind. Thank you. Everyone's mocking my.
Hand gestures.
Hand
Your awkward
gestures.
hand gestures. Yeah.
Thank you. And the Weta Workshop did all the Lord of the Rings special effects. They did District 9, Chappie, like all those kind of movies. So the robots, which you're fighting in giant robots in a demolished city, and you are either trying to take out the other side, BattleTech style, or you're earning points by tagging buildings, like
For the scavenging rights, correct?
Yeah, for the
because they're trying to scavenge like old
Yeah.
world technology.
right. So that was really
When you work for like different corporations and
Right.
stuff like that.
each
Yeah,
each
so it's-
Right.
faction is
and
a different corporation.
Right, there's different
Yeah.
factions because it's like
Well, each one funds your
but-
mech.
Right, then and the corporations
You know?
Right. So
are
you're
what
sponsored by right.
Right.
So it's like if Apple's like we gotta
Coca
go.
Cola, bitches.
Yeah, Coca Cola. And,
Yeah.
They call it Hapsy.
Do they?
Yeah.
but yeah, like if Apple and Coca Cola like had to like fight it out to scavenge the rights of like an old building that like like an old
And to be
Intel building or
awesome.
something. I'm sure they probably already do that.
I'm sure Apple would cheat.
I don't know. I feel
Well, they
like
just make a very smooth
Coke's-
one button
Coke's been around
destruction.
for Coke's been around for a really long time. I'm sure they might have a little bit of sordid details in how they got so big. I'm sure there's
Not
one or
like
two.
they
We're
didn't
talking
start
about
with
Hapsy, not
cocaine.
Coke. Jeez.
But the models are
Nuka-Cola.
just
That's the
really
only
really
soda for
cool
me.
looking, really well designed, really
Absolutely.
cool looking robots.
The miniatures are fantastic.
Okay, so all cards on the table. I backed it at the highest level. That's not
Yeah.
retail.
the highest level where they like take your likeness and turn.
No, that's not this game.
Where they actually build you a mech.
That was
So
a different. That
you
was a
get you can
different game.
get a level where you can get the unpainted versions of the mechs.
He's already
So-
planning to like make his own new mech,
Oh,
new
yeah.
corporations,
Yeah.
and like write in his own special powers.
Yeah, I want to upgrade stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And-
like Richard Corp.
Yeah.
Because
Richard Corp,
Just a bunch of
right.
engineers.
Corp.
because each faction has things that are specific to that, and then like each of the pilots have some
Yeah.
specific. So it's not like I enjoy games where like all the factions have a different spin on it and stuff like that. As
Absolutely,
because
because it creates some
chess,
sort
where it's
of.
like the
so
same
you don't get
black
like
or
white.
you don't get Star Trek Catan where you're like you're all the Starship Enterprise, but you're the red one and you're the blue Starship Enterprise. And
But
you're
you're
the yellow
fighting each
Starship.
other.
Yeah, what a
because
fail
the
on that, right?
Federation.
Many things. Yeah, they could have
how hard would it
Yeah.
have been to
Ferengi
just
and
do a
Romulan
couple
and-
extra different ship types?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
come on.
many.
And
Bird
they're,
of- can I-
Ferengis in
what do I
there.
got, what's the guy got to do to get a bird of prey? That's all I'm asking for. I just want to cling on bird of prey.
so there's also a GloryHounnd miniature. In
Yes!
this. So it's a little
I have
dog.
been like
And if you take a picture
made
with
into an idol.
your GloryHound miniature, if you get a picture with that and send it to us on Twitter, we will do nothing. We might. That's not true. I will probably like it, and she'll probably retweet it. So,
That's true. Yeah.
and if you want to at least,
if you get the
you
miniature
want
and
all
then you
10
take a
of my
picture,
followers to see it,
that's
put it up
right.
there. Tag us
Totally.
at GloryHound with 2 Ds.
I tagged the company. I was
Dr.
like, "Thank
GloryHound,
you for
2 Gs."
immortalizing me and my greatness."
And they did not
So-
respond.
And then they did not
That was
respond to me.
weird.
So
So I actually saw a prototype of this game at Gen Con.
Oh,
so
did
they
you
were,
really?
They were on the
Fantastic.
floor of Gen Con, and they were showing off these miniatures, and that's one of the reasons
I was gonna say, is that what made it for
It
you?
actually looks really cool, and
The
I'm
miniatures
glad
look
he's
amazing.
getting it so that
Yeah.
we can at least see it.
How
and
big are
play
they,
it.
Richard?
So they're probably about the big
That's
hitters
what
are
she
probably
said. I'm
like
sorry.
3.5, 4 inches tall. So they're pretty tall.
That's not what she said.
So-
She did
and-
not say 3.5,
Oh.
4 inches.
Well, and they're not. You know,
So
they're
there's
not
one
6
main
inches.
mech
They're-
for each one, and then there's like the smaller
there-
support
there's
ones or
3
something?
support mechs. Yeah. And then one of the things that wasn't on the Kickstarter that I don't know if they're going to do or not, but they had like an AR version of the game, so augmented reality version of the game. So they had an app on the phones there, and you could play with. So when you shot missiles at each other, you actually played like a real time game where you saw the field and you saw the missiles on your phone arcing over the field, and you're trying to hit where the shields are weak on the other player other player's mech.
Oh,
and
that's interesting.
The other player's trying to reinforce their shields. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I was like, this is freaking awesome if they get around to doing that. But hopefully that becomes a stretch goal or something because it's not mentioned anywhere.
right.
That is very interesting.
Well, don't they have a comments section? Why don't you ask?
I might do that. I might go into their. Yeah, every Kickstarter has a comment section. So
Just send them some tasteful nudes and
Right.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. Everybody loves tasteful nudes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I really dig this. This looks really cool, and I love
hey,
all the.
your game's really cool. Here's some tasteful nudes. And can you guys add AR to this?
I saw the AR at Gen Con. Do you really?
How much more tasteful nudes do I need to send you before you make this a stretch goal? Or
Has
just
it-
give it to me. That's good too.
Has it already funded?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, it
Oh,
funded
yeah.
like in 4.5
Yeah,
hours.
it-
Yeah.
was super
I have to admit,
fast.
I was looking at potentially getting a copy of it also, but I mean,
It's pretty.
since Richard has it, it seems.
Because you like get miniature games that you don't really end up playing, right?
No, we play all the miniature games we get for the most part.
Yeah.
Or demo them and stuff.
he's referencing.
Don't
Arcana.
you do it. That wasn't my fault. I didn't bring around the downfall of that game. All right, it was a good concept, but I could never get anyone other than her or you two to play it. That was it, and it just never. I always had issues with the app and syncing up the stylus, and so the whole point is that it's supposed to connect with the tablet. If you can't get your tablet to work
what
with
game
it,
were you
can't
talking about?
Golem
Arcana.
Arcana.
And that's why when you were saying the AR part, I was.
Yeah, I
thinking
was
of
like,
that game.
Well,
Oh, is it the one with the
Different.
pin? Is it
Yes.
the one with
Yep,
the
the
pins?
pen.
Yeah, that was more of
Yeah.
a dot matrix. It doesn't have anything to do with AR at all.
But
you're
it
saying-
reminded her of that, that similarity of,
Well, that
taking
was
it kind of
silly.
to the next level
Right.
kind of thing. And I was just poking
There's
fun,
a to
but-
the next level in a good way and to the next level in a bad way. And
I bet you Golem Arcana style game will show up again at some point in time.
Probably.
in the near future.
I-
Because
But
it
I
was
don't
there.
think
it just
it
wasn't
was-
100% there yet.
technologically, you have to be perfect whenever you
Right.
have that release. You really
'Cause people
do.
want-
It has to be easy.
Because technology has to be perfect now. You can't
Yeah.
just throw
You
something
can't
out and be like,
release it and
it
go,
works
"Oh, we have some
75% of the
bugs,"
time.
yeah.
Like, no, people freak out.
Yeah.
If they had used near field communications or NFC instead, so you could just tap your phone against the miniature instead of like having the special stylus you have to touch everything
Well,
with.
the stylus wasn't horrible. I had more issues just actually getting the stylus to stay
Connecting.
connected, and then
Yeah.
it just wasn't as user friendly as it could have been. It had all these different scenarios and things you could do, but it wasn't very like, this is just how I'm going to put my guys together. This makes a lot of sense. There was almost some extra stuff in there that wasn't needed and everything.
It's no good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had issues with my own personal tablet, so
Yeah.
the one I bought to play that game. It was awesome.
Oh,
So,
that's good.
Heavy hitters, back it.
Yeah,
if
I
you
would
can.
back it.
It is.
He's backing at such a
It
high level. I'm
has
not
14
going to.
days left, but the I mean, you're going to spend at least $100,
Right. It starts there.
125,
Right, which
150
I would
for
probably
those
spend
levels.
100.
You probably it's going to be really more around the 125 though, because 100 I think is like basic levels. And
Well,
then-
the 125 you get these 4 or 5, probably more, pilot miniatures that are like unpainted, like pilot miniatures you can use to track your progress.
Instead of just like cardboard.
Right.
Yeah,
tokens.
instead of just tokens. So I don't know. That's why I wasn't super excited about the 125. That's why I went with the 150 because
Yeah.
I get all of the mechs, another set of mechs that are unpainted, so I can go play. I can go rearrange stuff. And
I was
make
gonna say
them
that
cool.
was the cool part we were talking about is that you could add arms and legs and stuff in different places and make your own mech based off of you.
Add
what you
legs
want.
on there.
Actually, I think it's going to be like
Yeah.
8. It's actually going to be like 8 pilots or more because they've unlocked a bunch of stuff already.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It seems good. I'm interested in it, and I'm glad to know that you are getting it because then we will potentially see it.
Well, it's 4 player. Hopefully, they go with because they're adding.
Well, GloryHoundd doesn't like
mercenaries.
strategic games, so so she probably wouldn't want to play.
Oh yeah.
well, it does have a little piece immortalizing me.
she's
so.
just so busy playing chess all the
take a
time
picture
that
with
she
that
probably won't
piece.
have
She
time
just
for
wants
this.
a selfie on.
I do
Instagram
just a
with the-
selfie with the piece. That's all I want.
Okay.
Well, I just hope you can get away from your chess game long enough to play this with us.
Oh, jeez.
So let's see here. Do we want to talk about our last Kickstarter or just go into like?
We're not going to
play
do any
this
more
week's?
after that one. So last one.
That's it.
We're
Last
running-
one.
We're
That's
ending
it.
the show.
The end.
It's over. This
No
is the last
more.
episode.
This is our last Kickstarter.
Okay.
And then we're only going to talk about chess. for
Well,
now.
we'll talk about played this week. We all played Ice Cool. Ice Cool.
So cool.
Actually, I liked it. It's
That's
a cute
cool.
little game.
I tried to buy it 2 weeks ago when we were at Imperial.
I didn't like
Outpost.
it.
Yeah, that's
didn't
where I was
like
going to
it.
get to. Is that 2 weeks ago I tried to buy it.
because I like it,
And I liked it, and Player 6 liked it, and Player 6.
Oh my God! What?
That's his other family.
What?
All right, guys, you heard it here first. She's pregnant with triplets.
Oh my
She doesn't even know yet. That's how new this news is. Breaking news. No, so sorry. My 6-year-old, she really enjoyed it, and I played it with Jody and Pete. They both really enjoyed it, and it was Ice Cool is essentially a game where you've got these little weeble wobble guys that have weird bases, and they're penguins, and you're trying to flick them in between doorways to collect fish, and you're trying to outrun the hall monitor, which is another penguin played by another one of the players that's trying to hit your pieces and steal your ID cards to take them to the principal's office or something along those lines. It's kind of in the same vein of Flick 'em Up in a way, but it's
it's
a lot
a little
faster.
It's not.
fun little
And
party
you're chasing
game.
each other. Right, you're chasing each other. But the thing I'll say about it is that since the characters are kind of like bottom heavy and rounded, they flip around all crazy. So it's not as accurate as you would think, which kind of makes it silly. And every time I played it, because we played it at BGG, we played it at AZ Game Fair, it always draws a crowd and everyone is super excited. Like I had people cheering us on while we were playing it. Like player 3 is going and I'm like, yeah, you can do this. And the next thing you know, they're like I'm getting ready to go. They're like, go Blue Penguin, go Blue Penguin. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to totally kill these guys. Why are people cheering me right now? Like it brought spectators out. That's
Well,
how
'cause
much fun it was. They thought it was fun and it looked fun.
It is. It's a fun little game. Kind of like I said, like
It's like
it'd be a
Flick
good.
'em Light.
It's too. Yeah, it is like Flick 'em
Thank
Light.
God you
And
went
that's
there.
too simple. It's too simple. I don't like it. Like,
Yeah, but
it's-
see, the thing about Ice Cool is it's
too
a
much.
box within a box. So you
Yeah,
just
I do like that's kind of
that's
neat.
the coolest part. Is
So it
the
all-
fact that it
the
all
board itself
condenses into
is
like
part of the box.
Yeah,
it's
one
like a
tiny
little
thing.
babushka where you got a
It
little
is.
box within a box within a box within a box. I don't know if
Yeah, and
that's
then you-
babushka,
and then you-
but-
That's the only cool thing about that game.
And the
Only
peng-
cool thing.
The only cool thing.
All right,
Penguins
so
not
clearly,
cool.
Not
Ice
the penguins.
not cool.
Not the ice.
Okay, so Snooty
It's
Booty
just the
clearly
box.
doesn't like it,
It's,
but it is fun, is
it's
it not?
a fun little game. I actually didn't expect to like it as much as I did.
Right,
You know,
it
I was
starts
like,
off
this
where you're
looks
like,
really dumb.
is this going to be any good? And then you start playing it, and you
It-
get into it.
Yeah,
You're
have
trying to
have
run
a couple
for
drinks
people.
next time and play it. And
That's
you know,
the that's
Looking
the
directly
motto
at
of our
me.
marriage. Have
Yeah.
a
Make
couple
sure
drinks.
you have a couple drinks.
Have a couple
have a
drinks.
couple
Before you
drinks and
start
then it's
anything.
Really
All right,
fun.
Princess Snooty
really
Booty,
funny.
have a couple drinks.
Have
You'll
a
enjoy
good time.
life better.
Whenever we're like, yeah, this is a really fun game, she's like, I didn't like it. It's not good. I don't even
We all
like
It
have
it.
our
was very
different
basic.
tastes.
I was just saying it was very basic.
Oh, it's basic.
It's
It
basic.
is
It's
basic.
no
That's
chess.
why-
I will
That's
give you that.
That's
It is.
why we have a varied group of gamers on this show. Is
That's
because if you're a gamer that wants a heavy party game or wants to be introduced to new games, you have certain people on the show you can listen to. If you have super crazy heavy cardboard peeps that like are all
Cardboard peeps.
Yeah,
Where you
they're
at?
all into the mechanics and
If you're a
strategic stuff,
snooty
you have
booty
people on
and
the
you
show.
don't like games,
Yeah.
you totally listen
You
to
can
her.
relate to somebody, so it's good.
Well, it was
that
kind of
just
like
Colleen
what
likes
was the,
it, that Dr. GloryHoundd like it. 'Cause
Yeah, but I
you're
like
a
the
Rhino
specific
one.
type of gamer.
I
was
like
that
a
one?
lot of different games.
Rhino-
though, from
Rhino
Yeah,
Hero.
superhero,
It-
Rhino
you know,
Hero
that
tower.
one seemed like it was going to be kind of kid-like and
Yeah.
stuff.
See,
and
but
silly,
I would play
liked it.
Rhino Hero rather than Ice Cool.
Yeah, I don't understand her logic
Well,
either.
Yeah, why the difference?
Because
there?
I
Don't
know,
ask.
Rhino Hero seems more entertaining to me, where Ice Cool is just.
Is it this? Is it because
Well, I
like
think it's
you?
because
I think
she's
you
already
do.
got Flick 'em Up, so she's like, if I'm going to play a flicking game, I'm going to play that one instead. Because we stopped
Probably,
playing.
yeah, definitely.
We had
But
Rampage, Terror, and Maple City for like 2 years, and then once she got Flick 'em Up, she has like not
Rhino
really wanted
Hero
to play that
has
one
more
anymore.
strategic aspects because you have cards that you can
It's
try
Uno.
to you can try to manipulate your
Uno,
situation
Is
based off of those
Is
cards.
it because you can
In Ice Cool, you
feel like you can control what you're doing a little better, whereas
Probably,
this Flick
and
one,
then
they kind of go everywhere.
yeah,
and
they
you feel
just
like
go
It's
everywhere and you're
like
like,
dice
it's
"Wee."
random. You're like,
That's
I
it.
can't control where my penguin's
yeah.
going. I can't
Just-
stand
No,
this.
I don't
Do what
know.
I'm
I-
telling you to do, the goddamn penguin.
I
Between the
disagree.
two of you guys
I
got it
disagree.
though, because you say it's the randomness, and she said it's like dice rolling, and that might be her
I
issue.
disagree that you can't get better at it
Goddamn
because
penguins.
the guy I played with at AZ Game Fair, what's the guy who was running the
Andrew Long?
no,
No.
the one running the library?
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah,
Johnny.
I'm pretty sure it was
Johnny.
him.
Good old Johnny.
Local
Great guy.
It was the guy running the
Fantastic
registration.
person.
Bronson.
That's
Oh,
it.
God.
Good old
Bronson.
Bronson.
That guy.
He was
The only
I mean,
Bronson
he was
in Arizona.
Fantastic.
He was amazing. Like he would hop it
So
over
sociable.
walls and
They call
then,
him
like,
AZ Bronson.
He-
Only one.
Yeah, but he was good. He was good at it. So
Right,
you know,
and even
I
just
think
my
if
kid
you-
got better with
if
it as
you-
it went along.
Yeah, if you practice with it, practice
It's
like- You
flicking
just
it.
need to-
That's all you need
It's
to do.
definitely-
You
Yeah,
need lots
faster
of
game.
practice when flicking
I will
things.
say the advantage that it has over something like, say, Flick 'em Up is that even Flick 'em Up has a certain level of setup that you have to do where people can get bored and walk away. Ice Cool, it's like you got 4 players, play. You just play.
whip out your box and you
It's the
start
same
flicking.
game. It's the same. Wow. Nice.
I don't know if we should applaud that. That was easy.
Too
It
easy.
wasn't that easy. It was much better.
It's
than
the
some of these
same
stuff.
game.
Sometimes it takes a little while.
It's the same. Well, you have to do it right, okay? Jesus.
If you,
So
Jesus,
it's the
praise
same
Jesus.
game
She usually says God, but sure.
every single time you play, though, and it's just it's boring. Sorry,
She played it.
Yawn.
She played it one time. That's it.
I've
One
played
time.
it more
And
than
every
one
single time she played
When
it,
else
it was
did you
the
play it?
same.
I've
Every
played-
single time
I've
she
played
played
it
it that
at
one time,
AZ
it was
Game
the
Fair,
same.
and I've played it at BGG Con, and
So twice then.
I've played it at.
Sometimes when you
Bingo.
leave the house, she
That's a
plays
lie.
it just because she hates it so much. She goes, see, I hate it. I knew I would hate
She
it.
bought it just so she could hate it at home, I guess. I don't
No.
know. She was
No,
like,
I
she vetoed
ex-nate.
that
I
pick,
did. I
though.
vetoed it. I said,
I was going to
"Hells
get it.
to
She's
the
like,
no."
Well, because what we do is we both have to decide that we want something. So if she's like, oh, I want this, and I'll say no, or yes.
And then
or-
I get it.
So she said,
Right.
that is true. I
I'm
think
sorry.
that
Go
happens.
ahead.
It is true.
I know.
You're making the
That's
face,
fair.
but
yeah,
it's true.
I know. I'm a bad husband because I give my wife what she wants.
yeah.
Definitely should be mocked
I d-
by her from that, I guess. I don't understand.
She likes that,
I don't
too,
understand how
to
women
mock
work.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
All right.
So she didn't like it.
No.
I liked it. Colleen
liked
liked
it.
it.
No.
But if
Everyone who
player
else played with us
36
liked it.
likes it too, why can't you let them?
Player
36.
No.
36.
Wow.
Why can't they just play it?
No, it's like cartoon shows. If there's a cartoon on that she doesn't like, she will come in and make
Yeah, I'll
us
be
turn
like,
it off.
hell no! You turn
if,
this trash
even
off.
if player 3 and I are watching it and enjoying it somewhat,
Yeah.
she's like, we have to watch something else or I'm leaving the house.
Yeah,
What?
for real. It's
I
drastic.
mean, we never
I
let
can't
the
handle.
kids watch Barney or something
bullshit,
like that.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and there's some of that, but I mean, if I'm watching, it can't be that horrible.
It
or,
is.
Or sometimes I'm willing to
He's
like let it
tainted.
slide because she's a small child, and
You should never
I'm
let
willing
that
to let her
slide.
do something she wants because it brings her joy.
No. Joy's not going to help her get smarter.
So there's some stuff we watched when we were kids that was absolute garbage.
Like
That-
Power Rangers. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. No,
I'm
no,
sorry.
Power Rangers. I'll totally on board with Power Rangers. Like Pokemon, Power Rangers, all garbage.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
Whoa,
thought Power Rangers
Pokemon?
was bad,
Come on.
and I went back and showed the kids like the original like
Yeah.
Voltron episode.
And
Yeah,
That's not
and you're
bad.
like,
It was-
ooh.
Yeah, despite like all the recycled anime, it was like
Yeah.
it was almost like painful. I'm like, sorry guys, I just want to finish this episode.
That's how it was when I went. So I watched all the new Ninja Turtles with my daughter, and she wanted to watch one of the older ones. We went back to watch it, and there's like a bimbo that comes out.
Oh
she's
my
like,
God,
she's
right?
Like, oh, Sneedly, I can't stand those yucky turtles. Those reptiles are gross. Get rid of those marsupials. And then she's like, just an airhead. And my daughter was like, why is she
Yeah,
in the
player
show?
3 was like,
I'm like,
what is happening
I'm like,
here?
I don't know. And she's like his secretary, but obviously they're sleeping together because she's like,
Yeah.
oh, like jumping up on him. He's like, it's okay, baby doll. It's okay. I'll get rid of him for you. I'm like, I'm sorry, we're watching
It was
this.
a different time. We were less
It was.
aware.
Oh my God.
of-
Player 3 was so confused though. She was like, why is she acting like
and then
that?
it didn't
like,
help that one of the guys
my
that played one
God.
character there is actually reprised a different role in the new one.
Oh yeah, different turtles.
I think
yeah.
Donatello
Yeah.
went to like Raphael or something. I forget what the
His voice
I can
sounded
tell when I
same.
hear it, but yeah, so it's the same actor, it's the same voice actor, but he switched which turtle he was from the old version
Oh.
to the new version, and so that messes her up too. She's like, "Why does Raphael sound like Donatello?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, we're actually not going to watch this. Just turn this on.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so this episode's over.
And we're
Let's
done.
You should just
continue.
break out the
And we're
original
done.
comics and you'll be good.
And then when
Well,
Oh yeah.
well.
she was confused when Cowabunga happened too. She's like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh, man,
that's
that was
the old
classic.
school. Cowabunga was the old school Booyakasha.
yeah.
because it's all about the
Did you
Booyakasha
feel
now.
weird trying to explain that? That was probably a weird moment for you.
It was because she's like, "Why do you say cowabunga?" And I was like, "Because that's what you. That's well, we said it, but nobody really understood what it meant. But we were what? You shut up. Go to your room, young lady."
Yeah. So no wrong, bad fun. Just
No,
Unless it's fun that she doesn't like, that it's bad.
Hell no. There will
So
not be any fun that I don't like in this house.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah.
On
Her
that
way to the
note,
highway.
honorable mentions.
Probably good.
Favorite Game Friday is on Dice Tower and
Come watch
at,
us. I mean her.
at Epic Gaming Night on Instagram, and come check us, as in me, out.
Ooh, check
You might
her
as well just
out.
Oh,
mute our.
let's come check you out.
Yeah.
You should just mute our mics at this
check
point.
out-
Just finish the rest of your show.
And check out what my favorite game is for the week. So
just
we do
gonna-
different themes
I'm
and
just-
stuff.
Hey, I just want to say good night to everybody. I'm just gonna put my mic
Maybe,
down.
maybe one time I can have all of you guys on there.
Uh-oh.
Would you guys like that?
I think they wouldn't. I think,
Everybody's like, ooh.
I don't know
I would
how to
like to
answer
try.
that
I think it'd be a
Ooh.
little
Can you
amusing to
insert
try and
some
get.
crickets right there?
Oh yeah, no, I can put some.
Do you want a
crickets in
really
there.
corny line on Dice Tower?
yeah.
Yeah. Also, we have our new show, Mystery Dungeon 1000, where we talk about a dungeon world line, and we do like a short little 10-minute like RPG on that.
Those
I
are
like
really
it.
fun.
Yeah, they're
You
a
should
lot of
listen to
fun.
those.
We're gonna do some of those. Also, Unpub is on April 22nd at Imperial Outpost Games, and I believe we still need a few game designers left on that one. And check us out on Stitcher and iTunes. Leave us great reviews. Rate us 5 stars, only 5 stars, or the highway.
I mean, I would like to. I would like to know if somebody has a problem.
Yeah.
Like you can.
Me too.
At,
You can
at me
email.
on. You can.
Yeah.
Well,
Email me all the
Email me.
complaints at
You could-
iProfit
yeah,
yeah, you could.
at gmail.com.
At Tasteful News.
At RL Newbie on Twitter or Instagram if you have a problem with the show,
Yeah.
the sound. I edit this crap.
If you-
so if
yeah.
it sounds like crap, it's me.
if you have problems with pineapples being in the show,
Yeah.
you message him.
Yeah, please. He
does all the editing.
I'm not putting more pineapples in. It's fine.
Ah, people
Not-
love the
I don't have enough
pineapples.
time right now. Maybe later.
Maybe not. Maybe on the next one or something.
Maybe if we do a Patreon and it gets to a certain level, then I can make
Then
it.
we can add pineapples.
Then we can have pineapples.
every show.
Yeah.
How does everybody feel about pineapple?
I like to eat pineapple.
That's
Do
dirty.
you like when I eat pineapple?
That's
good night,
dirty.
good night, everybody.
This has been a GloryHoundd production in association with Abnormal Entertainment. For more shows, game news, and amazing adventures, follow us at gloryhound.com, at GloryHoundd on Twitter, or in Glory We Trust on Facebook.
A bunch of baby ducks. Send them to the moon.
Head to abnormalentertainment.com for all of our podcasts and blogs. Go to cinemaheadcheese.com for our movie reviews and news. Don't forget our YouTube channels, Abnormal Podcast and Cinema Head Cheese. Get us on Twitter, @AbnormalPodcast, and find all of our shows and Abnormal Entertainment on Facebook.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.
There is nothing like watching a movie on the big screen, and with MoviePass, you can see unlimited movies every month from Abnormal Entertainment. Head to abnormalentertainment.com and click on the MoviePass banner to get your first month free. And after that, it's only $30 a month to see unlimited movies, even on opening day. Go as many times as you want. Have a blast with MoviePass and abnormalentertainment.com. FireFan is the most fun sports app you will ever find. Make prop bets along with the game that you are watching right now for NFL, MLS, and now NBA. Go to abnormalentertainment.com, click on the FireFan banner to get 12 free tokens to start joining in. The app is available for Android and iTunes. You can join the Abnormal Entertainment League, any league you want, play against your friends, play against celebrities, or even play on your own. And when you click through the abnormalentertainment.com FireFan banner, you not only support Abnormal Entertainment and your favorite podcasts, but you find a great way to get in the game with FireFan. Do it now.